In this video, I'm going to show you how to use weights so that you can place them in the head when you're trying to get rid of a headache. So this works incredibly well for tension headaches, for different stress headaches. So it's a really great way to work. So with that said, I'm going to show you how to set it up, and then we're going to do it together. So in a lot of poses, especially in poses where you rest the head, so forward bends and different poses with the head supported, we always say to make sure that the skin of the forehead, when you're supporting the head, is coming down towards your chin, and not, if you're resting your head on the chair, if the skin here of the forehead isn't being dragged up towards the head. So with that concept, we have this amazing sort of restorative pose that you can do using weights to create that sensation of the brain starting to relax and release some of that tension and the pain. So we set up near the wall, and we're going to use 2 blocks against the wall here. So I put 2 blocks against the wall, and sometimes you can change this around so that it fits what kind of props you have. So I have these kind of blocks, and I'm going to be using this like this. So we can also start off with just using 2 regular blocks. If you don't have blocks, there's so many things that you can use. Some books where you can strap the books so that they don't open. You can use that. Anything that's sturdy and that's not going to fall apart here while you're trying to practice. So we'll start off with these blocks, and I'll show you the different variations. So lay on your mat with your feet on the floor and knees touching. So lay right in front of one of the blocks here. And so when you lay down, release the eyes, the ears, and the throat. And just start melting into the mat here, really releasing the belly. And take a few breaths here. So without holding your breath, you can start placing the blocks. So here is the first. If you're new to this, you may want to start here. So I don't want the skin of my forehead to come up. I want the block to be set in a way that is drawing the skin down. So I can start out just with 2 blocks and see what that does. If you prefer, you can have a little piece of recycled mat. You can put that on your forehead. But just the weight of this block is enough to start really creating this relaxation. It's great if you suffer from high blood pressure, just to set up a little station where you can come to every day and release the skin of the forehead down towards the chin with a little bit of weight here, right around the area of the eyebrow. You have to play around with where you put the weight, and there's a spot where it just really feels more effective. Okay, so here's one way, and then to remove it, just simply gently take it off. So come near the wall here where I have my block, and I center that block to the center of my forehead here, and then using the other block, making sure that they're not slippery, I can place that block safely onto my forehead. So here's where I have to adjust where I'm standing, maybe come a little bit closer, and make sure that this block is drawing the skin of the forehead down towards the chin and not up towards the head. So place the block, and first we'll have to try different spots on the forehead, but usually right around the height of the eyebrow, maybe a little above, maybe a little below. That's where you put the block, and make sure that it's, the weight of the block is dragging the skin towards the chin. And lay here and release the eyes, the ears, the throat. And start this practice of receiving the weight. So maybe for the first few breaths, you'll be fighting that weight and trying to push the weight up. and the ears will tense up a bit, and the neck, and eventually you learn how to breathe and receive the weight and that downward pressure, and start getting, you know, the wonderful benefits of laying like this. Release of the pressure in the head, release the pain. It's great for reducing, I won't say reducing because I don't want to be prescriptive, but it's a really great pose to lie on if you have high blood pressure. So setting up a spot where you have your blocks, and you come every morning and lay down, and for at least 3 minutes, receive the weight of the block, release the eyes, the ears, and the throat, and start peeling the layers and releasing this, the different tensions and the different blockages, layer by layer. And then when you're ready, go ahead and remove the block. Take a few breaths here. And I'll show you how to go a little bit deeper with this. So once you're comfortable with having the block on your forehead and you know the feeling, then we're going to use both blocks here. And I'm going to use a thinner block, and you can use anything that will safely give you this kind of sensation. So placing my block here, if sometimes it's okay to use a little mat on your forehead here if you feel like the block is slipping, but again, make sure that it's drawing the skin of the forehead down towards the chin. So here I can use, here I have a 10-pound weight, and I place that weight carefully so that it doesn't slide down. I place it on my support, and I work with a little bit more weight. Really allowing yourself to release. If working with a metal weight, if it's not stable, you can use sandbags, 10-pound sandbags or 5-pound sandbags, and put them onto your support. And then sometimes it's a good idea to just adjust, to just try out where it is that you like the placement of the block best, and work with that. And then carefully release. So one more thing that I'll add, sometimes depending on the shape of the head, sometimes when you lay down and the shape of the back and all of that, you have a tendency, some bodies, to have the chin facing up. In that case, okay, if when you lay down the chin is not down like this, add a little bit of support underneath the head so that the chin comes down. And it may be a block, or you may just add a folded up piece of mat underneath your head, nice, and make sure that it's nicely folded, and you can place a little bit of support behind the head so that the chin is not pointing up. And after that, then you would set up your weight support there. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it helps with headaches and tension, and just really a great restorative go-to pose that you can use to restore and feel better. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate your views, and see you on the next video.